to a very special BB Can Sick show with Veronica. Oh my god, you guys, this is going to be so much fun. We have so much to talk about. Of course, if you guys want to see all of our shows, our past shows with Jesse, with Kirsten, with everybody, and everyone who's going to be on in the future, read our blog, spoiler graphics, all of that is over at yourrealityrecaps.com/bbcan. Of course, we are live right now on YouNow. Make sure you become a fan here so that you're alerted every time we go live. Hamza will be on with us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can ask questions in the chat room when you fan. Of course, it's totally free. You know what's not free? Becoming a patron over at yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. But it does help support our shows, gives you access to the after shows, what we'll be doing with Veronica after this show is live, and will help us get to Canada to do backyard interviews, live streaming of the finale parties. You guys know the deal. We really help. It really helps us out, and we appreciate your support. You can also do a one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal. And I always forget to tell them this. The #1 fan is going to win Veronica's autograph. Veronica, don't worry. I get it from you on finale night. All right, that being said, here she is, everybody. It's Veronica. Hi!
Hi! How's it going?
How is it going? You look beautiful and stunning in blue.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. I wish I would have put on. I should have went and
you.
changed my. We could have had little matching shirts.
We were matching.
We are. We're kind of a little. I mean, well, technically, my shirt says I love New Jersey, which is not true, by the way. It's not, and I don't want you as a Canadian to think that that is true at all. No one in this country loves New Jersey, is what I have to say. Okay, so, Veronica, we have tons of questions for you. I want to let everybody know right now, you can start tweeting us them with hashtag YRRLive.
Keep them coming.
Keep them coming. You can put them in the chat room. Amy's in there grabbing questions. Spread the word. Let people know that we're live. Square, megaphone, up arrow. And like I said, become a fan over here on YouNow so that you are alerted every time we go live. Now, first question. We got a bunch of questions ahead of time as well, too. But the first one that we get most of all, what was it like just finding out that you got voted in onto BB Can? Like, what was that moment like for you? Did you ever have a doubt when you were standing on that stage? Like, is it going to be me? Is it going to be one of these other people? What was that like for you?
It was absolutely insane because prior to, being put on the stage and, in the days that I was waiting to go on the show, I was told that there was a vote in, but I didn't believe anybody. I didn't believe any of the producers. I didn't believe them because, Big Brother Canada is expect the unexpected, and they're always lying to me, and they're never telling me anything. It's so secretive. So I didn't actually believe there was a vote in until I heard Arissa say it probably 10 minutes before we came on the stage. So I still had a feeling that I was going to go on the show. And even in the vote-in, even when I went in the house, I thought I was going into a house on the first day, not filled with people. Like, I thought we were going in and it was going to be empty. I didn't know that there was the whole cast there for a week prior.
And you handled it perfectly. Like, you drove that, but like, you were like, Marin, get on my bus. I'm driving. We need a lie. Here's the lie. You're on board. We're doing the lie. You just sit there and look pretty, and I'm going with the lie. Did you find that stressful at all? Or were you like, no, I got this. I'm not even worried about, having to make up this story for the house?
I definitely found it more stressful. I definitely found it stressful. It was a little bit less stressful because I had a partner going into the house. I think if it was just me, I would have been freaking out a little bit more. And, after probably talking with Marin for about a few minutes, I could sort of tell that there wasn't that much going on up here. So I was like, oh my God. I'm like, if we come up with a story, you just need to shut up and let me talk. Even now, thinking back, clearly the story was, way worse than it sounded in my head, and we could have thought of a way easier lie. Right. But when you have sort of 5 minutes to think of some crazy story going into a house full of people that really, your safety and your position in the house depends on it, it was just really stressful. But luckily, because I had him, I had someone that I could sort of, keep by my side, it wasn't too bad.
And isn't he like so adorable? I mean, you have to admit, like Marin is like the
Oh my
most
God.
adorable little. I mean, not so great at game, but the most adorable little person in that house. So
He
nice.
is the sweetest, cutest, biggest gem. He was so sweet to everybody. Everyone would always make fun of him and rip on him, and he would always take it. He'd always bring me Nutella sandwich or chocolate,
Uh huh.
chocolate spread sandwiches, and he'd give me massages. He was just the sweetest kid in there. But when it came to the game, I
Mm-hmm.
think he just has no idea what's going on. So
Well, it's working for him so far. Who knows what's going to happen as this week moves on?
yeah,
But working for him
he's been
at
there longer than me, right?
right. Well, we look. What I meant to say when I said, "And here's Veronica," I meant to say, "And here's fun feeds." Not in the house anymore. You have to know that
Yeah,
you are
exactly.
missed on those feeds. I mean, I think people who were fans of you, even people who might not have been fans of you, I think everyone can agree you were one of the people that brought those feeds to life in that house.
Oh, good. Good.
So,
I'm so glad to hear that. It makes me feel a little bit better.
well, good,
Just a
because
little bit, though.
just a little bit. Well, one of the ways that you did that was with your house meetings. Now, I have to say, normally, I'm not that big a fan of a house meeting, but I actually loved your house meetings. And Kelly Watson in the chat
Good.
room wants to know, how do you feel about your house meetings? Looking back now, do you regret them or not?
You know what? Regardless of what people might say about them, I still don't regret them at all.
No.
Like I loved them, and I thought that they made an impact. And whether they made a negative impact or a positive one, I there was things that I just needed to say, and I just needed to get off my chest, and that was the only way to be able to do it. And people were doing a lot of hearsay with me, especially when I was campaigning, and so I was sick of it. And I can't lie. I love, all eyes on me. I love,
Hmm.
being able to sit in front and sort of. I love yelling at the house. It was fun. It was fun for me to yell at them. I had a lot of emotions that I was keeping inside. Even while I was campaigning, I wasn't really being myself. I was being very passive, a little bit too nice, and I was sick of it. I was sick of everyone, sitting around playing summer camp while I'm out here, campaigning for my life.
Right.
And no one really gave a damn. So realizing now after being told by a few people that house meetings are a death sentence. I'm new to the show. I didn't know they were the death sentence. Maybe if I knew, I wouldn't have done them. But I had fun, and that's all that matters.
Okay, Angel Chick 845 in the chat room says, if you got to do it again, would you play the same way or would you do anything different?
I would play the exact same way. I think the only thing that I might have done differently, well, see, because I came in so late to the game, my original strategy was to come in and not really show my athletic ability too much. I was really just going to focus on my social game. I was
Hmm.
going to play a very sort of passive and not as competitive. But when I came in late in the game, everything that I had to do from here on out had to be aggressive. To guarantee my safety, I had to play an aggressive social game to make sure I had the relationships. I had to win every comp I competed in so I can guarantee the safety and sort of break that 2 week plan that they had going on. The only thing I probably would have done differently is I might have not sent Jesse that vote because I
Hmm.
think that it had a really big sort of impact on the people's trust with me in the house. But it wasn't that big of a deal. They made such a huge deal out of it. It's like, who cares? They really blew that up, and I think that would be the only thing that I would have done is maybe try to shake up the house, but not in that way because clearly it backfired because I'm sitting here. So
I have to say, I never thought that there would ever be an issue throwing like a hinky vote in the game until I watched the way you did it, because you were brilliant. I actually said I will never go to dinner with Veronica because I don't trust her. Her ability to lie to your face. She'll be like, Eric, I added my money in for the tip. And I'd be like, God, she's really convinced that she added the money. I was convinced at one point that you actually thought you didn't make the vote. I was like, maybe she thinks she didn't actually do that. But, yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe the chaos and the fallout from that vote. Of course, I don't think you should change anything if you go back and play. Honest to God, you were such a big
good.
personality. You were such a big presence that I don't know what you would change. It's not like you really had a lot of missteps in the game, really, other than that vote. But you could argue that point.
Yeah.
You could argue. I mean, you didn't own
Yeah,
up to
yeah,
it. So in the game.
No, I didn't. And no, I didn't own up to it. There were, just based, I don't know what you guys really have seen, but based on the vibes I was getting in the house, there was no way, regardless if I came out with the truth, that I would be staying in that house. Everyone, it's like high school in there. It's like Mean Girls. It's like the cool kids and the unpopular kids. And I think that they play the game really based on emotion. And I think no matter what, if I came out with the truth, they still would have used it as an excuse to send me home. And a huge reason was Will. Will is my number one in the house. He is my numero uno. And he clearly told me that if he ever found out who lied about that vote, he wouldn't be able to be allies with them, and he wouldn't even want to be friends with them outside the house, which is ridiculous because, he lies just as much and everyone lies in there. And I'm sure, once we get out of the house, he gets out of the house now, obviously we'll still be friends. But I was like, there's no way I'm losing my closest and truest friend and ally over some silly vote. So I just couldn't.
I don't know. Like, there were so many times when you were in conversations with people, like, I think Paris, for one, when she was like, I'm just devastated over Jesse and nobody cared. I'm like, oh, clearly she's going to tell Paris right now that she was that vote. And you were like, no, I'm not telling you. And I was like, oh my God. But it was so good. It was great gameplay for your game, and it was entertaining to watch.
Well, it was hard because Paris and Will were fighting because of me, so I wanted to just be like, oh, stop fighting, I'm so sorry. And then Derek, when I was campaigning to him, he told me like, my vengeance was to get you out of the house, because you got my best friend out of the house. And I just wanted to be like, Derek, I actually voted to keep him in. Like, I'm not as horrible of a person as you think. But again, like, if anything, it would have, I think, solidified people, because even though people thought I was lying, I was getting to them a little bit. I was getting to Paris, I was starting to get to Johnny. Like, it was very, even Erica, I know there was moments where she was like, fuck, like, should I keep you? But she just thought like, if I was able to lie and she kept me and I'm such a strong threat in the house, would I ever turn against her? You know what I mean? And that's what she was worried about. So I was thinking of telling them about the vote once I left the house. When I got to the top of the stairs, I just wanted to be like, by the way, that rogue vote was me, bitches. But I was like, live feeds are still on for a few more weeks. I want a few more positive shout outs. I'm like, let's not make them too mad as I leave.
Please don't remove the last bit of drama in that house for us.
I know.
So far all we have is Ryan hiding on the floor grabbing people. We'll get to it. Rockstay, who is one of your biggest teen fans this season on Twitter, and I believe, she'll probably correct me if I'm wrong, loved the You and Will. I know it wasn't a real showmance, but I think she wanted it to be a showmance. She says, as someone who hadn't seen very many episodes of the show before going in the house, was the experience what you expected it to be?
It was nothing like what I expected to be. It was absolutely nothing that I expected to be. The season, the show is very fast. Everything's very fast. The episodes are quick. Super exciting. Super. And it's not, there's a lot of waiting around, hanging out in the house, just talking to people, you're not allowed to nap, so it's a lot of just waiting around. And, that was very surprising to me. I thought it would be a little bit more exciting. But that's the thing, you have to make it exciting, right? And that's what I really was trying to do in the house. You can laze around for 3 days straight and, talk about, your favorite color, or you can friggin' go around stirring the pot and, getting your handcuffed to Will and taking bubble baths together and, you know what I mean? Like, having, laughs, spit offs and stuff like that. You just really got to make it fun. But no, it was nothing like what I expected at all. And, I expected there to be a little bit more gameplay. And, the cast that I was with, they're just, they're just not having it. There's a lot of time wasted in that house, and it got really annoying. So I just did what I had to do.
I think that your speech, I know we're jumping around a little bit. I know that
Okay.
your speech of wolves versus sheep, which I think will be one of probably
Bah.
my top favorite speeches of BB Canada, for sure. I think the argument that people will say is being a sheep intentionally is a good strategy. Like, it's a strategy to hide until jury. Like, let the people like you and Hamza and Erica all go at each other so that
Yeah,
you all can pick each other off while we just hang back a little bit. Of course, the danger, or why that strategy could be considered a harder strategy, is then you got to kind of step up once all of you have been picked off, and how do you lead when you've been in the
exactly.
background for so long is also
Exactly.
why that's harder. By the way,
Yeah.
shout out Karen. Hi, Karen. We love you. Karen in the chat room from last year to see you as well. I'm pretty sure, she'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Karen loved you. I think you are someone that Karen would love. So there, I just said it. Karen loves you. She'll yell at me if I'm wrong later.
Awesome. Love you too. Yeah, I love
Um,
her.
Nicole says, on that same note, do you wish you had studied the game any more before you went in? And I mean, I guess we don't know if you did study. So did you study the game when you decided that you wanted to go in?
Trust me, all I was doing, I put, friggin' Riverdale and, Shameless and all those shows on the back burner
Mm-hmm.
the moment that I auditioned, and I was watching Big Brother Canada every chance I could get. But I was in school full time. I
Mm-hmm.
also worked full time, and I didn't know that I was going to be on the show, so I didn't want to really, cut my shifts, drop out, do anything. If I knew I was going to be on the show, I would have just dropped all that and studied. But I did watch it as much as I can. But when you're just in school full time, you work full time, you really just don't have, it's 26 episodes, it's an hour-long episodes. So I tried, but I definitely wish that I studied the show a little bit more for sure. And mainly just so that I can, like, I didn't know people, there was alliances that were made the first day or, the first couple days of the show. And I wish that I knew that that's how people were playing. Like, I had no
Mm-hmm.
clue Paris and Derek and Kayla and Jesse had an alliance. That blew my mind when I saw that episode because I was like right away. So if I studied a little bit more, I would have been able to see sort of, see the vibes of different situations and how to react to them.
But see, this is where I think then we wouldn't have had the you that was the entertaining you in the house had you done that. Because look, what you're describing is like a Ryan game. Basically sitting there begging for alliances in every conversation. Like, I'm alone and I don't know if there are three people that want to scoop up a fourth, but hey, Alliance
Yeah.
Town over here, party of one, I don't know. Like, that's annoying
Yeah.
to people too. So,
Yeah. Very true.
you don't know. You really don't know. Let's talk about a fun thing that
Yeah.
happened for you for a minute. How was your birthday in the house?
Oh my God, it was so unbelievably awesome. I honestly thought they would forget about me. And going to the house, that was what I was super worried about because I'm 25. It's a quarter century years old. This was a huge birthday party for me. And, they had the Hasbro party on my birthday. So that was great, pizza
Mm-hmm.
and candy and whatever, but it wasn't really for me. So when I came down and I saw the cake that Will made for me, that was like so my type, super colorful, said Plur on it. So delicious. And then it was our first night that we got real amounts of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. It was honestly the coolest birthday that I've had. It's definitely one for the books. It was awesome.
And we saw it. We saw your games. We saw our hot tub time. We got the dirt that happened after in that hot tub time. We loved it. No, we loved it. That's why I go back to saying, again, nobody can say that your presence in that house is not completely missed because it definitely is. Another question that you're getting from so many people, I'm going to take it from Destiny's, is had you stayed in the house, who would your targets have been? So let's say you didn't go out, you won HOH heading into double eviction. Who would you have targeted?
I definitely would have put. Erica would have been backdoored right away. I wouldn't have waited for that. I would have taken my shot whether it worked or not, you know. She would have been right up on that backdoor block, and I probably would have said the exact same speech that she said to me, because, you know, she made a lot of promises to me a few days before, and, you know, so talking about shady and lies and all that, I would have threw the same sort of speech at her. But she would have been my target for sure to get out of the house. And or Dayla, you know what I mean? I would have targeted the bigger targets. If I stayed in the house, the line definitely would have been drawn in the sand, because clearly, you know, anyone who didn't vote for me would have been my target. So it would have been Ali, it would have been Olivia, it would have been Hamza even, you know, because Hamza, you know, he was making all these alliances with me, you know, earlier on in the week, and then of course the moment that his buddy's on the block, he's nowhere to be found. Mm-hmm. So I definitely would have been going for the people that no one was afraid to take a shot at, for sure.
Were you shocked? I see a lot of people asking, were you shocked to see Hamza follow you out as the person from Double Eviction?
100%. I was super shocked. You know, it's funny because, you know, earlier that day, he asked me who I would want out in the Double Eviction, and I told him it was him, and he just laughed it off thinking I was joking, but I was completely serious. But yeah, I was super shocked. I didn't think anyone had what it takes to send him packing. You know what I mean? Because he seemed like he had some good relationships in the house. But at the end of the day, everyone know he loved to scheme and plot. You know, he wasn't secretive about it. You know, he loved the shock value. He was probably the strongest male in the house in terms of competitions. So I wasn't surprised at all. I was mainly surprised that Olivia won, and she was the one that put him up, because that must have been a hilarious accomplishment for her.
Are you I know I saw on Twitter that you said you started watching the show. Are you caught up? Are you current with the live show right now?
No, I'm not caught up at all. I'm probably halfway through the season right now in terms of episodes.
Okay, you'll find
but people have been keeping me up to date.
Okay. That was a lot of Johnny that made that happen. A lot of Johnny getting angry and snapping in people's fingers. Don't you dare put her... So Johnny was a big player in Olivia's nominations for that. I want to go to a serious question. This is probably your, I would say, most controversial question of the show. And I know you've already addressed it, but I want to give you a chance to address it here now, too. It's from BB Boston, and she says... would you change any of the personal things that you said in the house, like specifically Kirsten, which we know that you tweeted out an apology about her? Actually, well, she was on this show, and I don't know if you saw it, but she said, I believe, like, oh, that's sweet, I totally accept her apology. So I believe Kirsten's cool with it. But I mean, we did see that on the feeds where you were like, but again, I'm going to just let you say what you want to say about it.
Oh my gosh, I would take it back in a heartbeat. You know, if anyone knew me on the outside, you know, if you asked any of my friends, any of my family, even people who barely even know me and just know me as acquaintances or through friends, I'm very big on people people just accepting and loving themselves the way they are, different shapes, different sizes, different cultures, different beliefs. You know, it's very unlike me to say anything to anyone that would ever make them feel bad about themselves. I live on building people up and making them feel really great about themselves. And I'm completely against body shaming. And, you know, I like thicker women. I like women with a little bit of meat on them, you know, a nice chest, you know, a big booty. I love all of that. So for me to make any comment like that, it was honestly getting caught up in the heat of the moment, thinking I'm the shit in the house. I had a little I'm the shit moment. And, you know, the house can truly bring out the worst in you sometimes. And sometimes you make comments to people because you know what their reaction will be. You want to make them laugh, or, you know what I mean? You sort of want to seem cool. And that was all that was, you know. It's, you know, Kirsten, she's a beautiful girl. She's hilarious. I've read all of her tweets, you know what I mean? Like, you know, she would have been a riot in the house, and we probably would have ended up working together. So that was one of the comments that I definitely regretted, you know, even after I said it and I thought about it in the house, because you forget forget also that you're on national television, you're on live feeds. It's not some little comment you can slip to one person and let it get away. And for me to have portrayed myself as that type of person was a big regret. Also, you know, even just using the word gay in conversations, you know, when I'm talking about things like that's so gay, or like, you know, you say it and you don't realize the impact it has on people. You know what I mean? And you know, I love gay people. I like girls, you know what I mean? So people can even say, you know, that about me, but people use a lot of terms that they think don't affect people. And you know, that people have made in their everyday conversation. That's another big regret. And lastly, you know, I was telling a story when I was a young girl, and you know, about a snake that I blew up in my house in my microwave. It was a really horrible story of when I was very young, you know, between the ages of, you know, 5 to 10, and I did something really stupid, and then I had, you know, all the PETA people, you know, freaking out over me, and it made it seem like I'm bad to animals, and I'm not. I love animals. I love them all, you know, and so it's really just things that you don't realize the impact that they'll have on people. But those were my 3 big ones, and you know, I never want to make people feel uncomfortable in their own skin. So
okay, well, here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say as a gay man. I 100% believe that you don't really have a bad bone in your body. And I think, and I don't mean to make an excuse, but I agree with you. I think the house is a very stressful place. People say things for a million reasons, but not that it doesn't matter. It takes a big person to apologize for things that they did wrong. And you tweeting it shows that you are remorseful. And I think we can move on from all of it. Plus, I don't like snakes, and I say microwave them anyway. So... There should be no snakes. Oh, people are going to get mad about snakes. I didn't
realize they were cold-blooded.
Oh, please.
I didn't realize they were cold-blooded.
It is a snake. I don't like snakes, okay? Now, Will with the puppies, we're not even going to go there. Tell you about that after. That's a real animal. No, I'm kidding. People, snakes, you're real. Animal. You're real. Yeah. That's a real animal. You got this question from a lot of people as well. Who would you have taken to the final 2? Will or well, I'll say Will, or would you have taken either of Dayla? Would you have taken Kayla? And the question is, would you have taken Will or Kayla? But I don't feel like you would have taken Kayla.
So this is the thing, you know, I feel based on just the, you know, the loyalty and, you know, love that I have for rugby, it would have been very straining for me to make a rugby alliance with her and to not take her to final 2. However, I wouldn't have taken her to final 2. I would have taken Will all the way. You know, I don't care who knew it in the house. I don't care if people, you know, knew he was my number 1. I would have fought with him till the end. And if I lost to anybody in the house, I would have wanted it to be Will. I would have been able to shake his hand and say, "You fucker, good job. I love you." He would be the only person that I really would have, you know, not felt bitter towards winning. He's a great all-around guy. He was my best friend in the house. He has the cutest son, and he would have deserved the money, I think, more than anyone in there now.
Oh my God! Did you hear the story about his son from the audience on Double Eviction?
I did.
Isn't that so sad? If you guys want to hear the story, you should watch our show with Kristen, because I'm not telling it again. I have a very important question, very serious, what we like to know around here, and it is from Maximus' mom over on Twitter, and she wants to know, what was the first thing you did when you got home?
What was the first thing that I did
when you got home?
The first thing that I did when I got home is my mom and I went to the dollar store and we bought every piece of junk food that you can imagine. Oh my God. The worst foods that you can imagine. And I went and I opened them all in my bed and I watched like 6 episodes straight of Dr. Phil.
Of Dr. Phil?
Of Dr. Phil.
Was your mom like selecting top quality Dr. Phil episodes for you while you were gone?
She was recording them for me while I was gone. I love Dr. Phil. I love real life stories. It's super. That's what I did. And I napped and I cuddled my dog.
I like how I'm like, be honest, and now I'm going to shame you for it. No.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Dr. Phil. Okay, I did not expect that one. Lost in King Cruz says, as part of the twist this season, if you could implement a twist into any future season of Big Brother, what would you want your twist to be? So in other words, if you could make up a twist for a Big Brother season, what would you want to make up?
Ooh, I think the twist would be, if I have to think of it quickly right now, I think it would be super cool if a house guest was brought in, but it was someone's sibling and they had to keep it a secret. And, if they give it away that it's one of their siblings, it's like an automatic eviction or they get punished or something like that. But to bring in a sibling as a house guest and they have to act like they don't know them at all and be able to talk to them like they're, a new house guest and get to know them and possibly work with them. But if they gave it away, then that was that. That would be a super cool twist.
So kind of like Pax Brothers from BB Can, but I forget if they had to tell. I think they did. I think Arissa forced them to tell. I have a horrible memory.
I think so.
I have a horrible memory with that.
I've never seen it, so.
Now, before the show, this was something that you did not know that we talked about for a moment, and I was like, no, let's wait. Let's save it for the show. You did not know that there is a hidden power in the tomb in the underground crypty water.
I think that, I don't know if anyone saw this, but I went to open the tomb when we went in there for the first time, and we were told not to go in it. So we just put it back because we're such good house guests. So does anyone know what the power is?
We don't know yet.
If it's a power of fucking veto...
it is.
That's it. Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Oh my God.
It's gotta be. I mean, we don't know yet. We have no idea yet what it is, but I would assume it has to be. From what I know of Big Brother, I think the way they kind of try and keep it fair is... I feel like they tell you all, you can't look at that thing yet, or there's no power in play, or you can't stop searching around for things, and then... I don't know. Like, maybe they say, okay, you're allowed to search for things now. I don't know how it works, but we saw in the premiere episode that the tomb opens and there's the big glowy light that comes out and they're like, there's a special power in the tomb.
That's crazy. I'm so upset. That's crazy.
I want to see you come back in through the tomb.
Me
For the
too.
love of God, they need to let you back in through the tomb. Just do it. A ghost you. Because you've already been out.
Apparently, I have been haunting them in there. They've been finding little items of mine, and it's been freaking them out. So
I want it. I want you to haunt them. I want them to figure out how to make a little ghost special effect of you. And
I would love that. Just pop up on the screen or something.
Yeah, or like behind the mirrors when they do.
Yeah, or me speaking over the
intercoms.
The intercoms. Great.
Marissa 1 in the chat room. I'm sorry. Oh my God, we have so many questions for you. Marissa 1 in the chat room wants to know, why did you tell Will to stick by Erica if you weren't really trusting Erica then?
The reason why I told Will to stick by Erica is because she's the best all-around player right now. She has a little bit of the social pull. She's also clearly the only one that has been winning competitions since I've been gone. So, I think that it's just smart for her and him to work together at this point, because I think that she's also the only one that, even though because of this week, clearly, she's not quite there yet, but she's also the only one I think that will be willing to make big moves. You know what I mean? Like she put me up on the block, with a little support from other people. I think that, she would be his best bet in moving forward just because she's the best all-around player right now.
Good. Lori Setti in the chat room says, knowing what you know now, do you wish you had been one of the sheep if it would have gotten you further in the game?
I don't think that I would have been one of the sheep other than me maybe not talking allies with people a lot. Like, I think that I probably would have been a little bit more aware of who I'd be working with. Like, I think I would have waited to have a little bit more conversations with people, instead of, just assuming that I could work with certain people and then sort of having, a house full of allies. But no, I think it would have been really hard for me to be one of the sheep in the house. I think that, it bothered me a little bit. I think that was one of the main reasons why I started making moves, is because me sitting around having everyone go, what are you thinking? Or where's your head at? Or, to the HOH, what do you want to do? It's not it's not how I would have played my game. And I would have rather been sent out fighting, and playing a strong game than be sent out on the 8th week and have done nothing.
You know who you just in this moment kind of reminded me of, and you might not know her because it's BBUS. People can agree with me or disagree with me. Leave it in the comments below. I just got like a little Danielle Donato. She was someone that kind of played the game like you, a little bit aggressive, didn't like to be bored, but was great feeds, great everything, but sometimes would just do things because like, oh, I need something to happen in the game, which again is a reason that I think people loved watching you on the feeds and in the house. I, for one, am glad that you would not be a sheep at all.
Yeah.
We needed you not a sheep. You got this question from a lot of your younger fans. I'm going to take it from Ranger39 Ricky wants to know, would you ever want to play Amazing Race and or Survivor?
Oh my God, Survivor, absolutely. I've wanted to play Survivor, since the show came out and since I first started watching it. I think I'd be really good at it. I also love the fear factor. I think it would be really cool to ever be on sort of that type of show. So I think in terms of like Survivor, just having to do crazy things and, really be put in sort of, stressful situations where I have to do those type of things would be amazing. The Amazing Race, absolutely. I was thinking about it for sure. I think I'm actually going to try to convince my brother to do it with me, my oldest brother, who's a huge Big Brother Canada fan, like has watched every season, was super into it, was very, it was very hard for him to watch me, because he really wanted me to, he wanted to train me before going on the show. But absolutely, I'm definitely going to keep all those shows in mind in the future. Now that I've done this, the world is my oyster. So.
Well, we might have the answer to this question, but now I'm going to take it from Eduardo S. says, what inspired you to do Big Brother?
So I haven't had cable in 10 years. I didn't really hear of Big Brother. I was never really into it because, it was always just whatever I got on Netflix. But my friend Eddie, he actually posted the auditions on my Facebook wall and said, Veronica, you would be perfect for this show. And so I read the description about being super social and competitive. I thought it was right up my alley. I watched one episode and thought it was amazing. And I was like, you know what? Like, this is my type of show. Like, I'm going to go big or go home. So then I ended up auditioning, and it's just crazy that I ended up on the show when there's been people who have been diehard fans auditioning every season and haven't got on it. So I think what really inspired me was just, being told that I would be amazing on it, and just believing that I had what it takes. I even now I believe that I could have beat any single one of those girls and guys in any physical competitions, and that's why it kills me that I'm here and I didn't get to fight for myself. I
honestly do not say this to a lot of people that come on this show. I really feel that you are someone who I think will get to play again if they ever do some sort of an all-star season or a second chances season. I think you were you were a huge impact on the game. I think it's very clear that you are missed immensely from feeds right now, and you are the perfect storyline. Like, you are the perfect, we didn't get to see you battle for your life in the game. You were backdoored, second chance, girl. Like, I think you are someone who has a storyline and a history and a presence in that house that I can totally see you getting to play it again. Old Broad,
I hope so.
I think you will. Old Broad says, did you and Johnny really become as close as you two seemed?
Absolutely. I can't speak for him, but he was the only one that kept making me cry. Every single time I was trying to hold it together. After I was put on the block, I was just angry. I went into my room to sort of just, to have a breath of air and sort of calm down. And he came into the room, and the moment we locked eyes, just started bawling his eyes out. And the thing is, Johnny is, He's such a sweet soul. We connect
Nice.
on a very, very personal level. There's not many people that I really feel their energy and we connect on that type of level. And I did with Johnny. And although watching the season now, clearly, he wants to be portrayed as this emotional, chaotic mess, which he's
Mm-hmm.
doing a great job of. But I do think that what we had between us was real, and I think that when we won that hair competition and got to have dinner together, he was probably the only person other than Will I would have wanted to have it with. He's just an absolute, bundle of joy, and I
Right.
miss him a lot.
Well, now speaking of that and speaking of friendships, I also saw a lot of people asking, I'm going to take it from Kelly in the chat room, is there anyone who you won't be friends with in the house? Now, she asks, is there anyone you will be friends with in the house? I have a feeling from talking to you, you're going to be friendly with everyone outside the house, but is
Yeah.
that what it is? Is there anyone that you'd be like, nah, not interested?
You know what? This is the thing. We're all a big part of the Big Brother Canada season 6 family.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be seeing them around a lot, and again, I really try to separate the game from the personal feelings because, if people were basing their personal feelings off me, Erica, I lied to her about the vote. I lied to Will. If they were being that way towards me, I wouldn't have any friends when I left the house. So
Right.
I think that I'm a little less interested in probably Allie and Olivia. They're just
Mm.
they weren't my type of girls in the house. I don't think we'll be super tight, but I'll definitely chat them up and we'll see if there could be some type of connection outside of the house.
Right.
Kayla rubbed me in the wrong way because she told me how big and important rugby was to her, and she really didn't fight for me at all to stay. So I'll sort of be a little bit bitter towards her when she comes out. But again, it's
Uh-huh.
all is fair in love and war, and I think that I'll be friends with them and we'll all share an experience that in a bond that's unbreakable once they get out of the house.
I think you will too. I think especially the Canadian casts, you all really seem to be a family. And for the most
Yeah.
part, after a season, seem to really come together as like a cast unit. Unlike us in the States, where it's a hot mess. A hot
I have
mess
to
after a
watch some
season.
US seasons. I've never even seen one, so
Okay, because that was the question you got a lot too. You've never even seen any US seasons.
no, I haven't
Ooh.
seen any. Are they cray cray?
Oh, they're super crazy.
Okay. I'm
You'll
going
have
to
to
have to.
you'll have to come to the New York City premiere party. It happens in New York when it like kicks off. Well, I'll tell you more about that after. But
Okay.
Not Pauline, there was a good question from True La Blue says, I'm curious, what season or seasons of Big Brother Canada did you watch before you went on? So you said you're watching some episodes when you could. Do you remember what season
Yeah.
it was or who was on it?
So I started from the beginning. So I watched
Okay.
the first season. I watched the second season up until the winner. So I don't actually remember. I don't actually know who won season 2. And then I watched the first maybe 5 episodes of season 3,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
Okay, no, that is good. I think a lot of people will argue the beginning seasons are the best seasons, so I'm sure people are thrilled with that being your history.
Yeah.
I am so upset. I am so upset that I did not think more of this game to get a beat going for you. But Lori in the chat room says, "How did you develop your freestyle rapping skills that were such an entertaining part of the feeds?"
Well, first of all, thank you. And second of all, I'm a singer. So, you might not have been able to hear it because we're not allowed singing on the show. But when I was growing up, I used to write songs a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And when you write songs, you have to rhyme. And I used to write raps a lot when I was younger as well. So it was just from sort of writing when I was younger that allowed me to sort of be quick in terms of rhyming. But I freestyle a lot, especially at parties. Nothing is cooler than being at a party and a bunch of dudes are freestyling and I
Mm-hmm.
come up to them all drunk, oh, can I join? And they sort of give me a look like, sure, you're a girl, but yeah, you can give it what you got. And
Mm-hmm.
then I come in and I end up just, dissing them all and putting them all on their ass. And so it's a cool sort of party trick and something that I feel pretty proudly about. So I'm glad people were enjoying them.
Here's what I want, because, you know, going forward after this season of Big Brother Canada ends, we are expanding our reality recaps. We are bringing more people on. We're having more hosts for shows. We're doing a lot more stuff and covering more stuff. We're going to have to talk about making this happen. I want Veronica and Marin rap recaps for Big Brother. just like a 3-minute recap, like the next season of Big Brother Canada. Like, that's it. It's just you and Marin. You watch the episode. We call you and you're like, here you go. Here's our song about tonight's episode. Go.
That would be amazing. We would be so down to do that. We would be so down. That'd be cool.
It's what I want to happen. Who do you think, you got this question a ton too, who do you think is playing the best game right now?
Honestly, probably Olivia, because it doesn't seem like anyone's really looking at her right now. And, you know, again, I'm not I haven't been watching the live feeds or any of the episodes. So this is just based off sort of what my Twitter followers have been sending to me. But she seems like she's flying under the radar with the alliances right now. You know, people are looking more at Allie. They're looking more at Maddie. They're looking more at Ryan. I haven't heard her name come up at all. And she was probably the name that would come up in the first 3 weeks of me being in the house. And now I'm not hearing about her at all. So I think she's playing a good game. And again, just Erica. The more competition she wins, the safer she stays. I'm just hoping that one of these days she will, you know, break up Dela or make a big move or get rid of one of the guys or do something because, you know, she's put in such a position of power. I would really hate to see her waste it.
So Christine B in the chat room says, so then do you think it's silly that this week they're going after Ryan or Marin instead of making a big move and going after Derek, Kayla, or Johnny?
Absolutely. I'm so disappointed in it. I was like, you know, they sent me home. They sent Hams home. Let's go. You know what I mean? Build off that momentum. You know, this is the time to be making alliances and to staying true to them. But it's like nobody is. You know, they're all building alliances, but, you know, they can't make up their mind. They're veering in other directions. I think that it's a complete waste to have Marin and Ryan on the block right now. You have Ryan that, you know, can't win a comp to save his life, you know, a physical one at least. You know, he does better with the questions ones. So he has a lot of knowledge. He's good to keep around in that sense. And then there's Marin, you know, again, who, you know, hasn't won any competitions. You know, he needs someone. He needs a wing to hide under right now. You know, Hamza was his wing, and, you know, it was his sort of, you know, like I call them, this puppet master. Right. You know, so he needs people to have his back right now. So if you needed a vote, all you needed to do was bring Marin into your circle, and he would be a loyal guy because he would have been loyal to Hamza till the end. I think it's a complete waste of votes right now. If it were me, I would probably put Derek and Kayla up on the block right away. One of them won the veto, take the other one down. I'd put up Marin as a pawn, and I'd send the other one packing. And that's what I would do. You know, and whoever was the part of Dela that was on the block or that got off the block, I would just tell them, you know, I couldn't tell you this because I didn't want it to be spread around, but, you know, they were my actual target. I would have been, if it was Derek going home, I'd be like, just want to let you know, I'm really sorry that you were on the block. You were never my target, and I was protecting you from the get-go sort of thing.
Exactly. No, and I think that would be a brilliant strategy. I want to let everybody know right now, I can't even believe, like, we are almost out of time. I want to remind everybody, we're going to take a few more questions that the #1 fan is currently Becca to win your autograph, but just letting everyone know we're in the final questions of this show, and then we'll be going into the patron show. But this was a good question from Tessa in the chat room. She says, why didn't you fight to take the HOH from Hamza? And to us, it does look like you just kind of were like, okay, you take it in the edit. So do you feel like you just gave it to him, or did you fight more for it?
No, I didn't even have to think about it for a second. There was no rock, paper, scissors. There was
Mm-hmm.
no contemplation. I gave it to him right away. And the reason being is for two reasons. As you guys know, Hams and the Cams, all he ever does is talk to his fiancee, Carolyn.
Mm-hmm.
He clearly, would really wanted to see her. He missed her a lot. And secondly, I was already in a vulnerable place in the house. People weren't sure how they felt about me. So in doing this, I got a lot of respect from the other house guests. They thought it was a really nice thing for me to do. And it was the best move that I think I could have made at that time for my game. It killed me not to get HOH, especially because I came in the house late and I had that mean girls, treating me in the house, not giving me the time of day. So for me to play in my first HOH competition and, win it and then have HOH, after I'm part of this 2-week plan. So
Right.
it would have been so for my ego to be like, haha, suckers, like, watch them all come into my room and, tell me why I should pick them. So it killed me to give it away. But,
Right.
Hamza really wanted to see his fiance. It was the best social move on my part to let people know that, I'm kind and I'm genuine. A little bit of regrets just because of the position I'm in now.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, there was, it was the best thing that I could have done for my move. And I knew that I was going to be safe for that week anyway. So he could have got all the bloods on his hands. And I could have just sort of sat pretty.
Right. TP4L Nat says, why do you think that you were cast as the angel? Because, I'm sure you saw in the first episode, it was between, like, you were the angel, Kirsten was the devil, Marin was the angel, that other douchebag was the devil. Why do you think that you were shown as the angel? Or have you not thought about it?
No, I have thought about it actually. I found it funny because I had no clue how they were trying to portray me, by the way. I didn't put two and two together with the cloud backgrounds and the white dresses and all that. I just thought it was because I looked super tanned. So I was like, oh, sweet, whatever. But I think the reason why they picked me as the angel is because outside of the Big Brother house, that is truly, my being. I'm very, I love to embrace people's individualities. I love to, build people up. I love to make people feel good. I have PLUR written on me, which stands for peace, love, unity, respect. I'm super sweet. I love, interacting with people and just really just making people's days however I possibly can. So I think that just based on the interviews that I had prior to getting casted and based on my auditions and everything, I think that was really the girl that they saw in me. And I don't think anyone expected, even the producers, that I would do half of the things I did in that house.
No.
I didn't even expect it. So
I didn't either. And I have to say, some of those things I was like, oh God, here she goes again. But now that you're gone, I would give anything. I would trade 3 of those people in that house to have you back in there.
That's what they say. Everything that, people, like, it's like what I was saying to Will, when he always gets annoyed about me. I'm like, listen, everything that annoys you now, everything you get mad at me about are the exact things you're going to miss when I'm gone. And that's the same for the fans, or the people who aren't my fans. Is even though they're just like, oh my God, can this girl shut up? Now they're just like, can someone talk or can someone do something? Or so,
Where's our dance-offs?
Yeah, right.
Where's our fun dance-offs? Where's our fun games? You and Will handcuffed together, rapping. It's
annoying him.
All we literally have, I know that you said you're not watching the feeds, but literally the excitement for Easter was Ryan laid on the floor, and when people walked in the room, he tried to grab them.
Oh, so entertaining.
I was really excited about that. All right, look, people are really excited for you, and I love it. Here is more than the fun feeds that you brought. Here is what I love about you. You love the fans of the show. You clearly love the show now. You're out there. I always see you interacting with people on social media, talking to everyone. That is my favorite quality of any house guest postseason, are people that are there for their fans after. So let's start with, where do you want people to follow you on social media?
Oh my God, anywhere and everywhere. I want them to follow me on Twitter, you know, BB Can Veronica. I want them to follow me on Instagram, same name, BB Can Veronica.
Okay.
I have a Facebook fan page. Really, anywhere that you can follow me, anywhere you can, you know, keep up to date with my adventures and crazy shenanigans. You know, I'm always up to talking to people. I'm always up to, a lot of people are sending me things that I can sign autographs for. I love all of that. I truly, the only reason that I've been so easy to transition back into reality is because of the fans. You know, they're keeping me entertained. They're making me feel loved. You know, they're keeping me up to date with what Will's doing and everything on the show. So honestly, reach out to me whenever you can, and I'll always do my best to respond. I absolutely just love it. You guys are truly, the greatest. So anything, anywhere, and everywhere, just find me, follow me on social media. Yeah, don't
don't come to your house. Don't show up at her house.
Creep through my window or anything.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
Unless you're into that.
Here's what I'm gonna say. All of the links to your social media are going to be below this video on the edited show. So if you can't find them, of course, your Twitter is above you. Now, like I said, you do have so many fans. Is there any, I want to give you full screen to say whatever you want to them. If you want to thank them, whatever you want to say, the floor is yours to have your one-on-one moment with your fans.
Awesome. I just want to say thank you guys so much for voting me into the house if you did. If you didn't vote me into the house, no hard feelings. If you love me or hate me, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's just life. I'm not everybody's type, you can't make everybody happy. But I just want to say you guys are all beautiful. You're all amazing. I appreciate you guys so much. Keep sending me pictures. Keep sending me posts. You're not bugging me. You're not annoying me. If anything, you're putting a smile on my face every single day. So I just want you guys to remember that you truly are the reason that made this show so amazing, before and after. I hope I get to interact with all of you guys and, follow my social medias because, I'm just getting back into reality slowly, but, it's going to get a lot crazier on there and you're not going to want to miss out.
Perfect. I'm going to remind everybody, if you came in at the end of this show, it will be up tomorrow on our website, yourrealityrecaps.com/bbcan. You can watch this show back. Make sure you become a fan on here, or you can do it after at yourrealityrecaps.com/younow. Tomorrow we have Hamza. Shout out Hamza. Oh God, I cannot wait to see what that is going to be like. And like we said, congratulations, #1 fan is Becca for this show.
Yeah, shout out Becca.
Shout out Becca, congratulations. And we will see you guys all soon. Patrons, we're gonna go move over to the patron after show for you guys. We'll see you there in 1 minute. Thanks, you now. Bye everybody.
Thank you.
Bye guys.